Hello friends, my name is Pawan and today I'm going to explain you an inverted microscope, the principle behind it, its construction and biological applications. An inverted microscope is a microscope with its light source and condenser on the top, above the stage pointing down, while the objectives and turret are below the stage pointing up. The history and Dutch spectacle maker named Zacharias Janssen invented the first microscope in about 1590, merely a series of lenses in a tube. It was the forerunner of today's compound microscope. A light source was added by Anton van Leeuwenhoek and the lenses improved in the late 1600s. However, until 1800, there were a few major improvements in the light microscope. Then, in 1850, John Lawrence Smith, a faculty member at which is now Tulane University, invented the inverted microscope. This was a radical shift from the existing microscopes where the specimen had to be small and preserved on a slide. For the first time, living and large specimens could be observed. This is an excellent microscope for metallurgical samples and for the observation of living specimens or tissues. Therefore, the process of cell division can be examined, which is not the case using a conventional compound microscope. Which makes an inverted model useful is the ability to maintain a more natural environment for the specimen, thus extending its life. The viewing of valuable life processes can be researched longer. This is its major advantage over a compound light microscope. The larger specimen or culture may be kept in a large petri dish for viewing instead of a slide. In a large container with an appropriate cover, there would be naturally less evaporation and more gas exchange to maintain life. This is not possible when a thin specimen is placed under a cover slip on a slide where evaporation happens too quickly. Disadvantages. The largest disadvantage is the cost. There are fewer manufacturers and the engineering to manufacture the microscope is more expensive. This means there are fewer used microscopes of this type on the market and less competitive pricing. Additionally, all microscopes have a limited working distance for focusing on the specimen. When using the inverted type, this difficulty is compounded by the reality of looking up through containers of various optical quality and thickness. You may look through plastic, which has much different optical correction than thin glass slip on a standard slide used with a conventional microscope. Advantages. A single drop of pond water shows a diversity of life and its interaction on a microscopic level. The ability to observe living specimens with this microscope has added greatly to the knowledge in molecular and cellular biology. As stated earlier, the living specimen can also be observed over a longer period of time. Also, the inverted microscope permits use of collier illumination, which is a great option, as well as DIC and phase contrast optics, creating different shades of brightness, greatly enhancing the image for a better viewing instead of needing to stain the specimen and the skillet. In the case of large or heavy specimens such as those in metallurgical sampling, the conventional microscope is useless. But the inverted model, due to its design, is perfect for analysis. Additionally, models typically have connection ports which allow them to be attached to a variety of digital recording equipments. This option of recording the interaction of a specimen in the environment allows for validation and review of the real-time observations.